I wanted to have a quick mid-December update on savings accounts because following last week's base rate interest from the Bank of England, whole video here you can check out if you want to know exactly what that means for your savings and your mortgages and where the base rate might go next year. We've actually seen a flurry of account increases either for right now or in the new year already. I'm sure more will come as well. And don't forget, head over to becleverwithyourcash.com/savings for daily updates on the best buys. But I want to take you through some of these changes right now because I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, oh, maybe I should be taking advantage of those. So I'll give you a quick heads up on those. Plus, I want to go into a little bit more detail on an account I spoke about in the update 2 or 3 weeks ago, which is Chip, just to make sure you understand exactly how that works and whether it's worth faffing around with some bits. But we'll come back to that. So let's go over to the blog straight away now. Let's have a look at what some of those increases are. And let's look at easy access. So Chip, which we'll come back to, that has jumped up from 2.9% to 3%. They already had that increase just a few weeks ago, now offering 3% on the savings. As I said, we'll come back to that. The other big increase is from Zopa. They are offering 2.86%. That's the best kind of normal easy access. It is app only, and that takes it above Al-Rayyan, which has been in the top for a long time. So I wouldn't be surprised if Al-Rayyan suddenly go, do you know what? We're going to nudge above that themselves, maybe 2.9, maybe go all the way up to 3. And they're the kind of the big ones. Chase also is back, as you can see here, back on the kind of best buys table, not too far down there, 2.7%. Now this increase doesn't come into play until the 4th of January 2023. And they're also doubling how much money you can earn that on. It was 250k, it's now going to be 500k. So it's suddenly back near the top, but not at the top. As you can see already, Chip, Zopa, Al-Rayyan, synergy of existing customers still beat Chase Bank. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see the likes of Atom, Tandem, others suddenly also increased, getting towards that 3% rate. If not this week or next week, but in the new year. So yes, Chase finally made another update, make them near the top. They're still not up there. They still haven't got that head and shoulders lead they had when they first launched that savings account early in 2022. But there have been some bigger increases as well when we look at notice and limited accounts. The big one here, Coventry Building Society, from the 6th of January, they're going to pay 3.25%. So that beats the Chase account very easily. It beats the existing HSBC account that was paying 3%. However, this one, you only have 6 withdrawals a year. Okay, so you're not going to be able to get the cash out all the time. But still, the HSBC one at 3%, that was only up to 10k. And if you took money out, your rate dropped massively. That Coventry one to me feels like a better bet. Yorkshire Building Society has already increased what they're giving on their first £5,000 in one of their accounts. It's double access. You only get the money out there twice. But that is now 3% on up to 5k, 2.5% on money elsewhere. Again, I'm sure we'll see others coming along the way. You'll see on that list there, a bit halfway down, First Direct have got a bonus savings account paying 2.6%. That actually launched a couple of weeks ago, but you might not be aware of that one. Again, there are limitations on that. But again, lots of already stuff going on here that's worth telling you about. When it comes to fixes, sadly, as I said in my update a couple of weeks ago, it is looking like continuing. We have seen the peak of fixed rates. They are, on the whole, dropping down. As you can see there on the 12-month fix, the best you can get is My Community Finance, 2.27%. It was 4.32% just a week ago. I remember 4.7% was where it peaked back in sort of early November, late October, early November. So as I said before, still think it's worth thinking about. If there's money that you want to lock away, that you can afford to lock away, it's probably worth doing it now. Rates are unlikely to get better there. You might find easy access accounts start to edge up to 3.5. Maybe we'll see more of them offering getting even close to 4 if the base rate does go up to 4.5, 4.75% in the summer of next year. But yeah, again, you're not going to be listening to that too much. I wouldn't be surprised there. The only thing that kind of goes against that, kind of flips that a little bit, is this 9-month fix here from Shawbrook Bank. They are offering 4%. That is an increase. The best we've had at 9-month fixes for a long, long, long time has been 3.75%. So if you're not sure about fixing for a whole year, obviously this would now take you into sort of September of 2023. That is not a bad rate. Even if easy access accounts do start nudging up and up more and more, that's still not a bad one at all. These aren't the only increases that have happened though recently. I've done a whole video looking at the changes to premium bonds. They're going to go up to a 3% prize rate in January. So do check out that video if you want to know more. But as I said in that, and I gave you kind of a brief sort of comparison of how it compared to saving rates at the time of recording that just a few days ago, that was prior to this base rate increase. And with those ones I've spoken about just now, well, already you can get 3% in easy access guaranteed nailed on. So as I still say in that video, do check it out. But I think premium bonds really, this is mainly for people who are looking for some additional tax-free returns. Maybe they're worried about the personal savings allowance and things like that. Otherwise, it's very unlikely you're going to beat what you can get in those other accounts. And I imagine we're going to see that carry on getting higher as well over the next few weeks with one or two providers. Not on the whole, but one or two providers. What is quite interesting though, another account which has jumped up quite a lot is a new ISA from Barclays. Now I know some of you don't really care about the ethics of savings accounts, and Barclays are not one of the best ones. But if you're interested in a rate, right now they are offering some very, very good things. That 5.12% rainy day saver if you have the current account and the blue rewards. But now also a 1 year fixed ISA paying 4%. And it's fixed rate for a year, but you can take your money out 3 times. So it's kind of like a limited access ISA. It is also one that is flexible, which means if you do take money out, you can put it back in without it impacting that year's ISA allowance. So that's kind of like for people who are looking for a decent rate in an ISA for that tax-free benefit, that's really good. You can also transfer money in. So if you've got another account, hefty amount there, you can transfer that in and not have to even worry about this year's annual ISA allowance. Before we get onto Chip, I just want to give you a quick heads up here on something that's happening with First Direct. Told you about that 7% regular saver, which is head and shoulders above the rest. Absolutely really, really good rate. Up to £300 a month. On Friday, last week, First Direct stopped accepting new applications for their current accounts temporarily. Just over Christmas, they said they'd restart it in the new year. There was a banner on the website. But today, looking at the website, that's gone, and I can still start an application for a current account. So I'm not sure what's going on there, whether they jumped the gun a little bit on Friday and really they're meant to do it next week, or whether they changed their mind, or who knows what. Maybe they're letting some people, I don't know. But the point is, if you want that 7% regular saver, you do need the current account first. So you might not be able to get it if you can't open that current account. Mixed messaging, but keep an eye on it. I'll obviously give a full update on the bank switching, bank account deals, all that stuff when I do new updates in the new year. But let's end up, I want to talk now about this Chip account. I did mention it last in the update a few weeks ago. They were offering 3.6%. Then I said there's a few weird things going on there that you need to know about. And fundamentally, these weird things that go on with this account, why it's not different to others. The interest you get isn't an interest, it's a bonus, okay? And that might sound, what difference does that make? Well, it has some impacts actually, because you do not get financial services protection on that bonus. So let's say you earn a £100 bonus over a year. If they were to go bust, you'd get your main deposit back. That is protected, but you lose £100. You also don't earn compound interest. Normally, if you earn some interest, the next month you'll earn interest on that interest and so on. This one doesn't. You just get that bonus. It doesn't earn anything on that itself. And if you do want to withdraw that bonus, maybe because it's not earning compound interest, you want to move it elsewhere, well, then you have to withdraw all your money, take it all out. The last bit of money that comes out will be the bonus, and then you can pay that money back in. Now the rate offers 3%. It is top of the table. Some of you might be thinking, okay, I'll give this a go. I'll get that account, and what I'll do every single month is I will take my money out. Once the bonus is paid, I'll take that all out, put that into another account, maybe a regular saver. So I'll earn interest on that, plus it'll be protected. And then I'll put my money back in and start earning that rate. But I did a bit of an analysis on this, and the numbers I've got here are when Chip was offering 2.9%. So you have to sort of, appreciate the figures will be slightly off. This is an article over on the blog that I wrote a week ago. If you were to take the money out, let's give you an example of how much, taking the money out and putting in a regular saver, so this is to compensate for the lack of compound interest, what you would get. And actually the figures are, I think, broadly quite underwhelming unless you've got large amounts of money. So you see, if you have £1,000 saved in the Chip accounts, and you take an average month, let's say 30 days, obviously it is going to vary depending on the month. If you took that £2.38 out every single month, for all the faff of withdrawing it, put it into a regular saver paying 5%. Again, might be higher, might be lower, but it's just an example. Over the year, you get £1. If you increase the amount, let's say it is 10 grand you've got saved in there, much chunkier bonus every single month, 23.84 on average. Putting that at 23.84 on a 5% regular saver every single month, £8 over the year. It's not huge, okay? Massive amounts though. If you say you've got 85k in there, the most you'd really want to put in for that financial services compensation scheme protection, your monthly bonus is £202, and you get regular saver £200 every single month, £65. So you might think, if I've got a small amount in there, it is not worth me taking this money out in order to get it earning interest elsewhere. You've got larger amounts, you might think absolutely that is bang on, it is absolutely worth it. But there is a knock-on of this as well, and this is something I hadn't really clocked before. When you withdraw the whole amount to get that bonus out of the account, and you then pay the money back in, the money doesn't go into the new account straight away. The money you pay back in to Chip doesn't hit the account, doesn't start earning interest for at least 3 working days. And this means that rather than earning 30 days of interest or whatever it is for the month, you're going to be earning 27 days at most. That's if you do it straight away in the same day. That's if there's no weekends or bank holidays interfering with things. And that actually will reduce your interest rate from that 3% down a little bit. So these figures here, they'll just give you an idea. Again, this is based when the rate was 2.9 rather than 3%. If you put in £1,000 in there, you withdraw it every single month, that plus the bonus that you've got over a year, you will get £25.66 rather than £29 bonus over the year if you just left it there. And the larger amounts you have, you can see that becomes even more significant. And actually, the figures I've just shown you, how much you would get by putting it into a regular saver, on the whole, it kind of cancels out here. So you probably, I would say, if you're looking at the chip account, unless you're particularly with large amounts of money and you are worried about that financial services protection, I would just leave it in there. Yes, you'll lose out on that compounding, but you also, if you do take it out to put it back in, you're going to lose out on that rate. Now, at the moment, at 3%, they are top of the table for an easy access account. That could well change. Wouldn't be surprised. It sounds like they're wanting to try and be at the top of the table. So it depends how much they've got in their marketing spend to really push that. And if they continue being top of the table, then that's great. If someone else comes along offering the same amount or just below it, then maybe that's a better bet for you. So that's it. A very quick summary for you on some little what's been going on with savings just in the last few weeks. I'll do another one of these in the new year. But don't forget, becleverwithyourcash.com/savings. If there are any changes between Christmas and New Year, I'm not sure there will be. But if there are, I'll be updating them on the website as well. My name's Andy Webb. If this has been useful, please do hit like and leave a comment. It really helps the channel. And check out these videos here for more tips to help you with your savings.